Back to Sports Edge. Eric Dobrot's with me as well as Ann Nyberg.
It's been a long time since you've invited me back.
Come on, geez.
Thanks, because you needed somebody to fill the chair.
Nobody fills the chair like you fill the chair, let's face it. We're talking high school football, proposed changes to the rules, and all of them really are out there for safety reasons. But are they good? Let's start with the main one that I really like, and that is limiting it to 10 regular season games, which includes league playoff games. So you can play only 10 games before the state playoffs begin. Again, these are proposed changes.
In the name of safety, of course. I mean, how many games do you need to play?
Yeah, last year Ansonia ended up playing 15 games.
Too much.
15 games. I mean, think of all the injuries and all the head-to-head contact that happened in those games.
Does this count holiday play, the Thanksgiving game? What happens with that?
And I'm glad you brought that up. So yes, it includes that. And so it used to be you would have Thanksgiving Day games, and then you'd have games coming up a couple days later, or in the playoffs you would. So now they're saying there has to be 4 or 5 days between games, especially once you get to the playoffs. This is the best one as far as I'm concerned, because you were playing, sometimes, what was it, Eric? They were playing like
Thursday,
3 games,
Tuesday,
3
Saturday.
games in 8 days or something like that?
It's too much. And, you know, this is all in trying to back off on the concussions, trying to help kids stay safe. I don't know why this wasn't instituted a long time ago, and I know these are just proposed changes, but it looks like most of these are probably going to go through.
Some of them, some of the coaches may think is going to go too far. So they're going to limit the amount of contact that the kids can have in practices leading up to games. So during the regular season, you can have, I think it's 90 minutes total of contact drills. And then they've added 1 week to the season. So it's going to be a 10-game schedule, and
Over
it'll be 11 weeks.
Okay.
And so teams will have a bye week, and during that week, teams can have no contact at all.
I know I'm asking a lot of questions, but does this have to do anything with, you know, 2-a-day practices leading up to the season as well?
Yes, there are limits on contact during that as well. Most of the 2-a-days, I think, is for conditioning, but your preseason drills will also be limited in contact. And I think that's good. I think it's good. But, Eric, I want your thoughts. You think it's too much?
Well, the one thing that in every level of football will
And both you
tell
guys
you.
played football.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
And
in
everybody
high
will
school.
tell you that whether it's high school, college, or pro, these are coaches talking, that the less contact, they think there's more of a chance of injury. Because you got guys who, okay, in high school, for example, as the season goes on, after the 9th or 10th week, they don't want any more contact, except for games. So all of a sudden, you got 4 or 5 days of practice, walkthroughs, and the kids haven't been hit all week, and then are they more susceptible to get hurt because they haven't been hitting all week?
That's interesting.
College and pro, the NFL has cut way back on the amount of practice time now, and players have even come out and said, you know, maybe we went too far.
It's a dangerous sport.
And I think there's no getting around. It's a dangerous sport, and I think part of the reason for cutting down on the practices is, and I think that's recognized, exactly what you're saying, Eric, but I think at the same time it's the repetition of hits to the head. And I've said this before, I played football in high school. We used to take aspirin before practice, and that was common practice, because you know.
I'm glad I only had daughters.
Well, and I think the issue here, and I think some coaches are saying, hey, before you know it, we're all going to be playing flag football anyway, because that's the way the game is headed. But at this point, I think young kids are being directed. We've had football players say, I don't want my kids playing football.
Brett Favre came out last week and
Exactly.
said, I don't think I want my kid
Well,
playing
how many
football.
blows to the head, as you say, can you take?
And as the studies are done on concussions,
Yeah.
I think we're seeing more and more of like, oh, maybe we really need to limit the hitting. And until you can get a helmet that absorbs every blow, which we're not there yet.
How soon does this get voted on, the proposals?
They're
They're meeting in August and in September.
Okay.
So they're going to. I'm sure that this just came off the presses this week, today. So the coaches are going to look this over. They're going to start making some phone calls to people at the CIAC, and they're going to probably have a little bit more of a discussion
I love there's
on
2
it.
teachers that are
You know what I
schooling
mean?
me on what's going on.
No, but we
high school.
like your input, because it's
You're a
it's-
mom, and
yeah.
you've
I
been
am
through
a
the
mom.
wars, so
well,
you know.
have 2 daughters, and you have 1 of each.
Yes.
Would you let your child play football?
I would, but my wife already said no.
Well, there you go. See?
Overruled.
I have my son playing football at Yale. That's how I have it all mapped out down the road. You know, playing tight end at Yale someday.
It's America's favorite pastime. We love when the fall comes, and we love, you know, the whole tailgating thing where we watch football. It is a brutal sport.
It is. I mean, it's a very rough sport.
Yeah.
And there's no way around it. But there are a lot of people who played high school football who don't have any injuries now. Eric,
your
Eric,
knees?
you're not.
How are
Eric,
your knees?
your
Your
head
knees
got
good?
wrong so many times that you're a
What?
little off now.
But listen, let's not just pick on football too. The other sports, people
Yes.
do get hurt. There are concussions in soccer.
In fact,
Absolutely.
they just started limiting, or there's a proposal out there to limit the younger kids from heading the soccer ball in youth soccer.
How about hockey?
Hockey too.
Hockey, I mean, how many high school games did we cover this year where kids were getting slammed into
And
the
that's
boards?
a long season.
Right. Right. Look, all the sports can't be swimming and track and field, though.
Thank God.
All right, we're out of time. This went by so quickly. It's great having you back.
I appreciate
Thank you. Thank you.
Come back
teaching
soon,
me.
you hear?
Yeah, when you invite me back. You here? Are you from the South now?
Right now I am.
We'll be back with more Sports Edge.